Hey everyone, welcome back to another video of iPhone Blog, where we help quality people to pick up quality products. So in today's video presentation, I would be primarily focusing on two major aspects. And before I start my entire presentation, I have got something to admit and talk about it. So somebody has truly said that, cometh the hour, cometh the champion. I think this phrase dynamically represents the image of none other than Tata's grand entry in the SUV market with context to Tata Harrier. Yes, I'm talking about the Tata Harrier, a product which has got a lot of its essence, dynamic ability, its chassis from Land Rover Discovery profile. Correct. So initially when Tata Harrier was launched in way back in 2019, primarily on 23rd of Jan, everybody was somewhat glued to the entire body, the look, because Tata, the way they had marketized, they had primarily recommended that this is going to be Indian made Land Rover vehicle, which was a bit of a surprise for a lot of us. But then later, when we saw the entire entry, we felt, yes, we truly have a product in our hands. And guess what? We have gone far away. We have come far away. And today, in 2020, when I look back to the launch date of Tata Harrier, the only word which I would really want to say to the manufacturer is a big thank you. I think the Tatas, what they have done with Tata Harrier is they have represented the Indian image on the global market, stating that we can not only make wonderful computers and engineers, we can also make globally well accepted SUV in the market. So hi everyone, welcome back to my presentation of Tata Harrier, a relook to the gentle giant. Right, so let's get started, and before we tune in and talk more about it, I would really want you to watch a video clip of Tata Harrier. Okay, so I'm sure you've seen the video of Tata Harrier, and I really want to talk about 4 to 5 important aspects about Tata Harrier and why Tata Harrier is such a hit among the SUV quotient in Indian consumer list. Number one list, it's of course an Indian brand. It's a brand which has indeed highlighted India's image on global platform, keeping in mind the Land Rover Discovery 8 chassis. That's number one. Number two, it is one of those unbelievable vehicles which is not only going to give you a fantastic feel on the highway, but you really feel as if you are in a castle. It's humongous. The size makes a lot of sense. And of course, when I talk about size, I talk about boot space. I talk about the overall presence of this vehicle on the road. It looks absolutely smashing. So the build, the chassis, the boot space, the overall feel what you get on the highway in top speed is absolutely unmatched with Tata Harrier SUV. Number two, the power configuration. So Tata Harrier comes with 350 torque. Of course, it's a diesel, which is indeed available in automatic, six, let's say manual, gear manual, and of course automatic as well. Uh, Automatic I've not yet driven, so I may not be able to comment, but then the manual version, I think I've done a kind of exhaustive drive review, and I can tell from my own experience, you feel as if you're driving uh, a very light vehicle given the controls. Even the Tatas are not so famous for their clutch and the handling and of course the steering wheel, but then the handling of Harrier being such a bulky vehicle SUV is absolutely, worth driving. So I would recommend all of you, in case you've not driven Tata Harrier, at least book a test drive and see if that fits a bill as per your liking. So when I drove Harrier, let's say for a stretch of 25 kilometers on a highway, there are three things I specifically felt. First, great security and safety. When you sit inside the Harrier, you feel as if you are the king, because you feel that you are there in a castle and no one can touch you. So it's that secure. Number two, the way it rides. Suspensions, I mean, you cannot beat Tatas when it comes to suspensions and Marutis, because they are fantastic. They're the masters of that particular category. So suspension level is absolutely amazing. The backside experience, Tata SUV Harrier is somewhat unique, given the chassis, given the way it handles and maintains its balance on the highway. Yeah, it's pretty much efficient as well. So I would give, with AC, let's say close to 14 in the city, and max to max 16 to 7 on the highway if you maintain or drive it really, really well. So that's a bit about mileage and overall performance of the Harrier on the highway. The biggest plus point of Harrier is its interiors. I think the kind of materials you have on the dashboard, made up of wood, the third towards the door, all the door panels, is somewhat worth listening to, because that's one specific agenda which I think everyone looks when they go ahead and buy such a costly, pricey vehicle in the SUV category. So security, safety, interiors are somewhat plush. Another plus point of Tata Harrier is its JBL speaker system. Trust me, in the Indian SUV category of 5-seater vehicle, barring Kia Seltos and Hyundai Creta, I don't think there's any such rival who is giving you such fantastic audio quality. So that's one of the plus points if you happen to buy Tata, Harrier. And of course, we also have now Tata Harrier Black Edition, which if you go with the naked eye, it just looks absolutely smashing. So that's a new chapter in ever glowing history of Tata Motors. Absolutely. Right. So the biggest drawback, according to me, if I have to make a count, then that should be the way too much of styling at the back. The LED at the back is not that gorgeous. I think it gives way too, shabby look from the back. That's number one. Second, the steering command, or let's say even the clutch, could have been a little more lighter, because the refinement level of most of the Tata Motors, if we even say Nexon, is not that terrific, with due respect to Nexon for its security and safety, but then overall driving dynamics is not that crazily, it's not that crazy good. So of course handling could have been a bit better, clutch could have been a bit better, of course the looks from the back would have been a bit better, and yes, they do not have a petrol, which I believe is a bit of a curse, because looking at the situation of diesel in the oil community, I think petrol is the next option, barring the EV electronic vehicle. Right, so the boot space is good, speakers are good, build is good. It starts around about 13 point some change, the base variant. I'm talking about ex-showroom, excluding taxes. But I can bet you, it is much, much better compared to Hyundai Tucson and some of the vehicle, because it offers plush ride, great handling, value for money proposition. Of course, now you also have sunroof available as well. So can we end up a show by saying, what, form is temporary but the class is permanent? I think that will definitely define the status of Tata, because initially when Tata Harrier was launched, it didn't do that well, but as it kept on kind of banging the doors in the SUV quotient, it has indeed picked up its own niche category of customers. With this note, I really want to say thank you to one and all for commenting, talking to us, asking questions, and of course, if you do subscribe, that will be a great boost. Once again, this is Amit signing off. You take care, and thanks for watching.